Ooh, child. Ooh, child. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Ooh, child. Ooh, child. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Ooh, ooh, child. Ooh. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Ooh, child. Ooh, child. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Ooh, child. Ooh, child. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Hey, Rob S. Thank you for letting me know that you can hear me. How are you tonight? Hey, Vibrant. Okay, thank you, Vibrant. Um, I named this video Ooh Child. He's your co-host and your manager too? Ooh child. How fast things work these days. You know? Now what I just heard over there at Lemons now, I have not been on YouTube because I've been doing the family thing today, since earlier. So I have missed things that was going on. But I went by Lemons before I went live, and he said that um Binary was his co-host and his manager. And I didn't know that he had a manager. But you learn something new every day. That's the latest gossip I have. Um, Now let me get my notes checked. Now this is what. Let me pull up my notepad. Okay, the latest to the oldest. Um, this is a second. Let me pull it up. Okay, now the last place that I went on YouTube before I just stopped at Lemons earlier is the live that I was looking at, before I went live. And I went to Lemons. I watched like the beginning of his live, but I didn't get to see very much of it. But I kind of read ball through, and the people that I seen on the panel was Lolo, Happy Life, Ness, Audio, Lovely Love, Lady Snoop, Mr. West, Binary, Shakira. Ooh, let me turn that off. I thought I had all my things with that one. Just a second. I don't want to be playing nobody's stuff, child. Okay. I think that's all of them. Wait, let me go one more. Just a second. Make sure I just have me up here, child. Ooh, ooh, child. Sour Patch, Mini Player. I don't really know that person. King Kong Tulsa Pizza, TSW, Sanity, Yaya, Dick Ass Lady, Landlord, and Jesus Take the Wheel. Okay, now I seen Lovely Love and Ness. They had a few words. Uh, like Lovely Love was asking Ness questions, and Ness didn't want to have nothing to do with her. She said, "Don't talk to me." She just, they went back and forth for a little bit. Okay, wait a minute. And that was about it on, as far as I seen. And then, like I said, after I got my family out the house, I just went by Lemons, and that's when I heard about Binary being the co-host, which I knew he was the co-host of the talent show. I knew that, but see, I didn't know that he was Lemons' manager, and I'll try to find out when that happened. Okay, because Resto wanted to be Lemons' manager, but Lemon didn't. He didn't. He didn't bite on that. And I don't know anything much about rest. I mean, Binary them. I don't know much about them Umar boys. So if he's Lemon manager, maybe Lemon know more about it than I do, and we'll see how that work out. Okay. Just one. Okay, and I went back. Kim had a good long live. I didn't watch all of it, but on her live, she had like over 1,000 people, and she held it, which Kimmy can hold a crowd. Because people like her facial expressions, how she move her hands, the tone of her voice, and all of that. So people always love to go to Kimmy, and Kimmy don't come live every day. That's another thing that you know what, she's talented and she can draw a big crowd, and she had a big crowd tonight. Um, Now she drug Octavius a little bit, Pizza and Pastor. Now Pastor, he wound up going up on the panel. Pizza wound up going up there. Ness, Uppity, Judge Fifi, J Don. Um, I think that, well, it might have been more people, but when you read about it, sometimes you can miss something. Ness and 88 got into it. Ness and Judge Fifi got into it. And then they were saying something about some guy named Michael. And then they said his last name. They was asking, I can't remember if Judge Fifi asked Ness or did 88 ask Ness who is Michael, and she didn't answer. And then one of them said the last name, and they was arguing back and forth. And uh, then Ness told just Kimmy, "Hey, they doxing my abuser." So allegedly she had got beat up a long time ago, and I guess that's supposed to be the man that did it to her. And so Kimmy told him, don't no doxing kids, and no talking about kids, no doxing. But then they kept saying stuff about the physical abuse. They kept saying things like that to Ness, and it was wild, honey. And Judge Fifi and 88 said that they're gonna drag Ness until the end of time. And Ness was talking about 88 had a bottomless pussy, and that she looked like she chewed tobacco. And she said that all 88 know how to do is fight and FK, FUCK, and that she's a broke bitch. And 88 and this, okay, wait a minute. Ness was telling 88 and Judge Fifi that them two together could not make a decent woman. They just don't have any decency in them. And she was calling walking STDs and nasty bitches, and they was trifling ratchet bitches. And 88 said something about RAPE, and that is a good way to get your page taken. And I don't know why she come up with that, but I've heard her use that before. Like, I hope your kid get, what, and I hope you get our, what. To me, when they start talking about that kind of stuff, that's taking it, too far. That's my opinion. And they say anything goes, but I don't like to hear that RAPE talk at all. And that's when Ness was dragging both of them, because I told you guys on my other live that she did a good job to me. Ness would drag 88 for a while, then she'd say, and Fifi, and then she would drag Fifi for a while, then she would go back to 88. She was fighting both of them at the same time. And Uppity got up there and she started dragging them. I mean, all hell had broke loose on there. And Uppity was telling Judge Fifi about her being on the Maury show, because she was on the Maury show. I think she did 2 shows, but I don't know how many. And the guys were not the father. And they was want to know if she had found her baby daddy. Well, kid's daddy. And they was talking about how Michael had beat her ass. How Ned's abuser had beat her. And Fifi said that Ness, she wanted to know if she had the house in Virginia, and that's HIV. Because Ness said had said before, back in the day on YouTube, and that's before Fifi and this years back, okay? She had a scare. She said she had an HIV scare, but luckily when she got tested, she had to go back several times and she didn't have it. So somebody that's been in the beef sector for a long time had to let them know that information, because like I said, that was years ago when that came, when she bought that out. And they was telling her that she was that she was like had chlamydia and all that kind of stuff. And she said, because Ness got a smart mouth, that's why they took her page. And they was telling her son was stupid. And they was telling her she needed to get her shit together. And Ness was telling them that they was dumb and unclean. And then I seen a part of it. Pizarro wound up getting up there, and Pizarro, was correcting Ness on some things, because like this striking stuff between Pizarro and Ness, the reason that even started that kind of conversation between them is because Ness did a live and she said she was going to strike anybody that had her material on their page. Well, Pizarro got a little bit on her page and Ness stuff, but Ness cleaned her whole wall up, because all of her lives are reaction lives. She play people's whole lives, and she sits there and she critique it. She telling you what you did wrong, and I wouldn't have took that, and you hear that, and all that kind of bullshit. Well, when she said that, Jay Dunn, when she said that she was going to take anybody's page that had her material on it, Jay Dunn, that's when she asked Pisa, can I be your representative to handle situations like this? And Pisa said she seen Ness coming before she even said that, she had already cleaned her wall up, and now Neston cleaned her wall up. You know, so but another thing, some of these content creators and subscribers, they record all these lives, like different lives people do. And Jay Dunn says she had some of Ness's old lives. And I believe Jay Dunn do record the lives. You know, I really do. But she's not the only one. A lot of other people do, you know. And if people thought to do that back in the day, honey, the beef sector would be hell. Do you hear me? Because it was shit said and done on here that we forgotten about. You know, a lot of times somebody will bring up something, I'll be saying, damn, I forgot about that. I forgot she said that and all of that. Now, that back in the day, that was way before this play shit come around. The beef sector didn't know nothing about no plays. When the beef sector was beefing, it was beefing, okay? It wasn't no, you say this and I'm going to say that. And no, it wasn't none of that kind of bullshit. Beef sector didn't know nothing about no plays, okay? And another thing I want to tell you guys, you know, I told you the beef sector just formed out of nowhere. And the reason that it was T.S. Madison and Kaya, they had a show together called The Queen's Court, where they used to drag and stuff and talk about different stars and, you know, just have girl talk, gossiping. Well, when their relationship fractured, when it broke up, that's when, like, some people was Team Kaya, some people was Team TS. I never picked a side because I like both of them, you know, but some people did. Well, that's how the beef sector formed. Because some of the people here thought they was on TS Medicine side, some people was on Kaya side, and that's just the way it is. And then all of us was together and, you know, and stuff, and that's what made the beef sector. You know, people being on different sides. And that's how it started over here. Well, child, that's that beef is still going on. It's on and popping between T.S. Medicine and Kaya right now. It was like a gay pride thing somewhere. And Kaya was one of the people that was going to perform there. And while she was performing, she started dragging. Okay. She was talking about TS. Well, TS, of course, she came back at her. And see, that is a beef. That is not no play. Them two been dragging each other for years. And I don't think it'll ever stop. Because when their friendship fractured, it fractured. You know. And I mean, they have went low on each other. Now, I watched some of TS's live, you know, and she can drag, honey. But Kaya ain't no joke either. She can drag too. And I'm going to get to TS dragging Kaya in a little bit, okay? All right, and I looked at Pastor a little bit yesterday, and Ness was up there, and that's when she was saying on his live that she, you know, he said that, well, who like flagged you or whatever? You lose your page? And she didn't say yay, and she didn't say nay. She was like she was gonna let the crowd decide. My opinion, I don't think Ness lost her channel. I think Ness got that channel hid, but that's my opinion. I don't know everything, but I do know I was gifted a membership on her page, and I got an email, and it said the gifted membership has been paused. And they say if that channel pick back up and start back going live again, that within this month, that the membership will start right back up. But like if it go past the month, I don't have a gifted membership anymore. And if she start a channel back, we'll say she started a channel back in 2 months, I won't have a gifted membership. But if she pull that channel up and start doing live in this 30-day period, then my membership will start. So I get an email letting me know, what's going on. Okay. The captain went live, and SD was up there, one man band. This was not today. This was yesterday or day before. The captain went live, and he had SD, one man band, WAP 88, DG, Gina, Kakira, Mink, T Topics, Donna Goins, Bobby, OG Bobby Johnson, Asia, Jackie, and they brought OG Bobby Johnson down. Uh, wait a minute. And they brought like Jackie down, and then they brought her back up like for 75. Then they brought her down for 100. It was just like up, down, up, down. Okay. And the last time they brought her back up, it was like 150. I mean 125. Like you had to have $125 to be able to buy her down. Lady A got bought down. Lady A, as soon as she came to the chat, she got bought out the chat. But she had got bought out on his last live, on the captain last live, but he didn't notice it until the live was over. So he put her out of the live that he did then, yesterday, and he told her why. So he said she had to get out, honey. And that was out of the chat. OG Bobby Johnson got bought down. DG got bought down. Mink got bought down. Okay, and Donna Goins and SD got into it. And Donna Goins and One Man Band got into it. One Man Band and him been acting like they were going to meet up and fight forever. They just haven't met up. And both of them be filming outside. Say, come here. And then the other one say, I was over there and all of that. I'm here now. But they never do just hook up. T Topics and Mink got into it. T Topics came on the live and she had her hair done in braids, like burgundy braids. She looked real nice. And she's got a good shape, She's not no little bitty woman, she busty and hippie and she's got a small waist. And so she was showing them what she had on while she was driving. Because I think she said she was going to Dallas or somewhere. And Mink started dragging her, and she started dragging Mink back. And then she said, I ain't gonna get upset. I'm gonna enjoy my day and my trip, and I'm getting ready to bounce. Because T Top say, I ain't got time for this. I didn't come to argue. I just came to visit for a minute while I'm driving, but I'm not gonna argue with this little young lady. And I thought that was good. But T Top is wound up going back up there. I think she went back up there after Mink got bought down. Okay. And while the captain was live, he got an email from YouTube, and they say that he was getting a warning, and it was over a privacy complaint. And what that was, I don't know. But see, that's how they was trying to strike him while he was live, and he wanted to show what was going on. But the live, went to the end. He made it to the end, and it was hours and hours. It was one of those long lives. Okay, now the hog pen, there's no more. That page was taken. And I was letting you guys know that they're not only striking in the beef sector, they're not only taking channels in the beef sector, they taking the hell out of channels over there in the Mo3 beef sector. And they striking the hell out of each other. Okay. SD, he been down because he got struck. Now I don't know if they took his channel or not, but I think they might have. Like I said, 357, his page got taken. Now he not messed up about it because he can start another one and get the hours quick. So he wasn't worried about it. He don't even try to fight the strikes on his channel. It is what it is. He don't care. And I wouldn't care either if it didn't affect my income, like affect my money that I was getting from YouTube. I wouldn't care either. But the name of the channel that he got now is Raw Dog. Okay, now on that live, SD was up there, Free T, K Kira, Amori, Jade, Asia, the Captain, Toya, Isha, Rune Shaker, Woo, Bubba, and Texas 713. Now Jade was up there, she was dragging and stuff, but she got bought down. And some man that Brandon knew hit the panel, but I couldn't catch the name. Because Broadway really, you don't let people up there he don't really know. But he let that guy up because the captain knew him. The captain vouched for him. And he was up there for a while, but I don't think the crowd really was into him, and they brought him down. Um, and Free T and Jackie got into it, child. It was Jackie she got a wig, and she said that when Freaky T get ready to go to work or go out and kick it in the streets, she threw that wig up in the air and it just landed on top of her head, and that shit was so funny. And she said that is what Freaky T do when she get ready to go out. And she throw the wig up in the air, it land on her head, then she walk out the door. She don't straighten up on her head or nothing. That's what Jackie said. And I mean, the wig landed just right on top of Jackie's head when she threw it in the air. That was so funny. Jackie is funny. She do a lot of comedy stuff on here. She can do impersonations, and she make up funny songs and all of that. And I like Jackie, like I said, because Jackie is funny. But it's a lot of people on here funny. The captain, he was dragging Isha. I don't know why, but he's in the mood right now that he pick on her and her husband. Okay, and he was in the mood for that, but and they was going back and forth, and that's when they was talking about Wu getting beat up, and Broadway bought it up, and so different people were saying something, and Wu, the captain said that Wu got her eyeball knocked out, and he said her eyeball was hanging out the socket. And Wu was mad, but she wouldn't drag Captain. She jumped on SD and she started dragging the hell out of SD. That was so funny. So Wu, she had her, she didn't feel like the Captain get on her any worse than he was. But honey, she just grabbed SD and drove the shit out of him. Gina got into it with a lady named Brown Sugar. Now I've seen that person around, but I don't really know a lot about her. But she wasn't no joke on it. She was up there dragging. And then the captain them talked into showing herself on camera, because she said, I'm in the bed, and they were saying, don't nobody care about you being in bed and got a bun on. Just come on and let's see who you are and stuff. And she did. And you could hear her children in the background. They sound like they were grown or either on the verge of being grown. And all that. It was a pretty good, Broadway has good lives. Okay. And let me get back to Wu fight, okay? Y'all know I did that little short and let you know that I heard that she got her ass whooped. They had a video of her getting her ass whooped. Well, Donna Vaughn is the one that come up with the video because I found out more information about it. The video is old. It was made 13 years ago. Wu she got beat, she got kicked, she got a mud hole stumped in her. And she had got into it with some ladies on Facebook. and the ladies rolled down on her, and that one just she kicked her ass. And I'm telling you, I ain't seen her ass kicking like that since I was young and out there running the street. You know how girls get into it over guys and stuff like that. Woo got beat like that. They pulled her pants off. She had on a thong. Now, you got your ass whooped when somebody pull your pants off. They started like to strip her, and they could have done it, but thank the Lord they didn't. But when they would let Woo up, she was telling them to come on, I ain't through. You know. So she take a licking and keep on ticking. But Woo, you didn't get a lick in. She had dirt in her eyes. She said she had dirt in her eyes. I can't see. And she was still on the fight, child. Now, I seen them kind of women before. Get beat down and want to keep on fighting. You know, I've seen people get stripped, their titties all out and all that kind of shit. Thank the Lord that wasn't that kind of fight. But I've seen women fight, get stripped. They next thing you know, they damn near naked. And Woo is the type that, that could be done like that. And usually it's over a man. When women be fighting and stripping each other, fighting like that, it's over a guy. Because when they fight, they do that for like to embarrass you. you know. But Hunter and Woo, they were talking about her all over YouTube over there in the Mo3B sector. Like I say, there are people over there, they ain't studying the people over here in the B sector. They got their own shit going. And when that fight came out, that's all everybody over there was talking about. Every live was going up, lives all over the Mo3B sector, showing the fight. And Woo was striking her ass off. She was striking people left and right. I know she got DG, but she got several people. Some people she got, some people she did, because I've seen the fight several times over there on different lives that the captains have done. I've seen the fight around YouTube, but the first place I seen it was at DG's, and somebody put it in my chat that he had it. They had the minute mark. When I watched it, right after I watched it, y'all, that live was gone. Because he said it was a part 2. And when he stopped that first live and he was going to go to part 2, I went over there to see part 2, but all he did was play music. He never did come on. And I kept going over to his channel throughout the night, and he never did put anything back up. But I'm going to tell you what he did say. He said there's more. He feel like it. He said he ain't mad about the striker done because he got a lot of channels too. So whenever he get ready, child, I'm gonna run my ass over there and see what else he got, honey. Because he done pulled a cat out the hat. A fight 13 years old. Oh, I had never seen that fight. And a lot of people that's been in the Mo3B said they ain't never seen the fight. And that's why it spread like wildfire. And like I say, Woo was going around. She was telling my, we had another fight later on, and I beat that big bitch and all that. I don't know nothing about that. But Woo, you got your ass whooped worse than anybody I have ever seen, as long as I've been on YouTube. Now they say it be some good fights over there on Facebook, but I don't know, because I'm not on Facebook, period. Never have been. So I don't know. But Woo Hunter, she been hooping and hollering. She was embarrassed. And she getting picked on about it, but she got such a big mouth and always wanting to fight people. Child, why come you didn't come out there and fight that? How you got beat out in the mud? They beat you in the mud, girl. Because they was fighting like in the grass, now on the street at first. And then one of the women say, drag her into the mud. And that's what the woman did, drug her ass into the mud puddle. Try. I seen a woman, when some girls got into it over a guy one time, we out kicking it and stuff. And one of them almost drowned the other. Pulled her in some water, and tried to drown. And because I've seen all kind of fights, throughout my life. You know. Okay. Let me see. Okay, now I'm through at 357. All right, and then I went by Lemons. I'm going backwards in time. Lemon went live and he had audio while I'm going up there. ZX, Noble, King Kong, Tulsa, Malik, Brooke, Hershey, Ken, Lolo, Sparkle, and Lovely Love. Audio got into it with ZX and Noble. He was hitting the panel, but he'd be up there for a while and he'd get dropped. He'd be up there for a while and he started playing music, and Lemon said, "Man, you can't be doing that." Then he would drop back down. Then he would come back up. He was up and down on the panel that night. And he was trying to talk to Audio, telling him about, don't be getting up into stuff that ain't got nothing to do with you and this and that, just trying to tell him about how to maneuver through the sectors. And because he was telling him about the mistakes he made. Because, see, like when Teresa used to see Doble, we used to tell him, do not get these people no information. And don't do this and don't do that. Well, he started giving like his children names and stuff and where they live. But what do you think happened? They doxed the kids. And then he got mad and said Tracy had him doxed. No, but you got yourself doxed. You was telling people dox me. Now I got a son and I got a daughter and this and that. Gave out their names, and what you think happened? They got doxed. But he didn't believe Fat He was greasy for a long time, but it's greasy now. It is what it is. And then people use stuff against him. Well, Teresa knew a lot about it when they broke up, and he kept on talking, and she started telling shit that she had on him. That's why you have to be careful. I don't care if you is in a girlfriend-boyfriend relationship. Don't tell nobody shit, because you ain't gonna really be around the person. And when the shit go left, bad day come, okay? And I seen it happen a zillion times on here. You be tight, good Judy, and that friendship break up, all your dirt come out. And I seen it happen on here over and over and over. Lemon, wait a minute, Hershey and Malik got into it. I don't know. They like fire and gasoline, those two. Hershey be saying stuff in the chat, or either Malik, he be on the panel and he's saying stuff, and it goes from there with those two. Well, of course, you get into it with Malik. Brooke is gonna jump up there. It is what it is. That's her husband. And she don't want him to be one that, like a man that fight women all the time. Because he do get into it with several women, okay? Brooke try to pull him back from that. She jumps up there in the fire. And so, I seen it over and over happen on here. Now, when Brooke ass in the fire, Malik don't come up there and jump in and try to protect her. Because I've seen Brooke get drugged by men and women on panel. And he don't never drop out the cloud. And I know he'd be watching YouTube because everybody watch everybody on YouTube. And him and her in the same house. He hear her going at these people. To me, when the times are critical, up there every time. But I can understand it because she don't want him being portrayed like he has been on YouTube as a man that go after women all the time. Because I done seen Lemon go at him real bad, and he don't, man, my guy, and all of this. He don't go back at Lemon like that. And other guys on here. So I hope he straighten that out. Start going at the men instead of mess with these women. Because the women get enough with each other and from other men. But that's just my opinion. That I'm not trying to sway nobody's opinion. That's my feelings on how I have seen their relationship. Like Brooke jumps up there for her family. Okay. Um, and Lemon, he was dragging Noble, and he said that Noble looked like that. That thing on Tales from the Crypt. But Lemon was saying Tales from the Creep. He said that's what Noble looked like, and he said he looked like he about to die. Um, and that's about it. That was the main parts on that live. Okay. Okay, now then, I went by Jay Dunn's, and this was when it was a really uproar about Ness getting her page taken. And as Jay Dunn has been saying that she struck Ness and she showed the receipts. But this night, when she showed the receipts, she showed the emails that she was getting from YouTube concerning Ness, like striking her. And what Ness was doing was striking her like for harassment and bullying, abusive language, hate. And on the thing that Jay Dunn showed on her channel, she showed the strike that Ness had attempted on Jay Dunn. It had Ness's, her email address on that email. It had what she put in the strikes to strike Jay Dunn. She said that she was striking Jay Dunn because Jay Dunn was talking about her weight, saying that she was fat. And she said that she had been through rehabilitation and that affects, her sobriety and things like that. She know how to word the stuff to get your page taken. She also said that she had been addicted, and this was like making her want to go back into her addiction. What the people that has been in the YouTube in the beef sector for a long time, like before Ness even got here, Ness has been going to rehabs ever since she's been on YouTube. But she want everybody else to think she's squeaky clean and all that. That's how she wound up in Seattle. Because she got in this Christian rehab, and like their main headquarters is in Seattle and Baltimore. I don't know if they got a place in Texas, but some kind of way she had a choice to go to Baltimore or Seattle. She chose Seattle. And that's how she wound up there, because that Christian rehab people, that's like their headquarters. Now she want to say that she was like not a pilgrimage. Damn, I can't think of what. Discipleship. That's what she called it. Ness, that's a drug and alcohol place, just like I know it's a drug and alcohol place. You can put lipstick and you have not stopped using, and then you make dumb decisions when you're drunk on here and high. Weed, drinking like a fish, all that kind of stuff. So the rehab that you went to, all they did was move you to another location. If you have been through rehab, you do not do no drugs and you do not do no drinking. And both of them was your problem, and it still is. You fooling yourself, honey. Like the beef sector, we know you, the people that's been here. But those new people, they don't know. They didn't see you staying outside and homeless. Because you was homeless when you went to that rehab last time. You showed you being at the bus station on your way to wherever, Seattle. You showed us when you was living in them dormitories and stuff. You remember they said you was sleeping in a toilet bed. Don't forget the shit that we done seen you go through on here. We seen you walking the streets. We seen all that shit. And the B sector is not gonna forget it. It's not gonna go away. You can strike people all you want to strike. That shit's still out here. And we know you struck Deanna out, but you lying like you didn't. You did. And Deanna letting everybody know. Just like Jay Dunn read them damn emails that she got from YouTube with the strikes. He told what you said in the strikes about you had been to rehabilitation. That you had you were a dick, you were an addict. It had all that. Jay Dunn read that shit on her channel the other night, child. And she showed the shit that she got from YouTube. Stop fooling yourself. You even had enough nerve to say that shit was fake over there, Shaquille. That wasn't fake, and that's what Jay Dunn say. You know that shit ain't fake. And until you straighten up and quit doing what you're doing, you're gonna keep getting struck. Now when Judge Fifi and 88 left Chemist today, when they was dragging, when y'all was over there fighting, I went and started looking around because when they wound up missing at Chemist, I knew some shit was gonna be going on somewhere. So I ran my ass and looked to see if Queen 88 was live. Nope. I run by Judge Fifi. She was live. And she was getting ready to call that man, Michael, whatever. And she also pulled up his rap sheet. And as soon as she put that rap sheet up on the screen, she got struck. So Ness was out there roaming just like I was, because she figured some shit was in the game, and she went over to Fifi's and seen what I was seeing, and the things that Fifi was saying about you, and you struck her. It is what it is. But I was over there when that shit happened, because I knew what Fifi was going to do. I knew she was going over there to go live. So I had enough sense to go over there, and I was in that live when it was gone. That trips me out when I be in a live and the live just gone. I've been in lives when they've taken a channel. It's gone. And sometimes it'll say this channel has been terminated. It'll say that this live has been terminated. But some reason I didn't get that on that live. That the live had been terminated or this channel has been terminated. When they say terminated, that means it's gone, honey. Okay. So I'll have to go by Fifi's later on to see if, what's going on. But I don't think that she was going to come back live because she was talking about cooking and stuff. And a lot of people, being a holiday, a lot of people cooked out and all that kind of shit. And been enjoying your family. And that's what she said that she was getting ready to do. So let me see what else happened. Oh, while Fifi was live, because when she was live, 88 was up there with her. And 88 said on that live that if anybody, like people over here in this sector, if you letting this up there and she start dragging them, they will be striking the channels. And they say they didn't give a damn who it was. But like I said, that live is gone. You can't see that now, but I'm telling you what I seen and what she said and what Judge Fifi said. And they say they will be striking these channels if you let Ness get up there and talk that shit. They say for Ness to go live on her own shit so they can strike her. Child. Okay. Let me see what it is. And when I'm getting back to what Jay Dunn said. Jay Dunn said, like, when she was reading that thing that she got from YouTube, Ness said that she was under the influence. Like, whatever pictures or whatever that Jadon had showed on her channel that she struck. She said that she was under the influence at that time. And she said that she wanted them to take the video down because she was out of her head at that time. Okay. And another thing I noticed on Jadon Live the other night when she was showing that email, I was looking in the chat and there was different content creators, and one of them was Deanna, but there was different content creators that was in there that has been in the beef sector for a long time. And they was, they was there for a reason. I'm just putting it like that. And they was agreeing with everything Jadon was saying and stuff. But like I said, Ness been jumping on some of these panels saying that the only way Jadon gonna be stopped is if law enforcement get into it. What Jadon said, the law enforcement can get into it if they want to, but she got proof of everything, the allegations that she had made against me. She said she telling the truth. Now, Ness has been saying stuff about legal, her getting a legal, like getting an attorney and taking Jadon to court. She keep letting that come out. She was saying that when before her page got took. That the only way that Jadon can be stopped is law enforcement. So, it is what it is. All right. Now, one thing I want to say on this too about Ness, like when she went to Lemons that night when her page got taken, or when she took it down, whatever the scenario is, she was telling Lemon her page was gone, that she had got struck out. Well, Lemon said he was gonna stop that live, and then he was gonna put on his backup page, and they were gonna talk about it. Lemon went live on his backup page, and Ness never did come over there, so he just took that live down. He had waited for it for a while, and then somebody came and said that somebody let him know in the chat that she was over there at Shaquem on his panel, and that pissed Lemon off, but it is what it is. And when she was at Shakim's that night, she was telling them that she had lost her channel. Another thing that she did on Lemons before Lemons stopped that live, she was asking for cash apps. And allegedly that's what she's been doing, going around YouTube doing. Another thing, on the night that she got struck out or privated her channel, she had been over the uppities and she had been talking about Dragon 88, Pizza, Judge Fifi, and any damn body else with a cherry on top. Well, they was gonna strike Uppity, but Uppity took that. She got rid of that live because she knew it was bad. I didn't go see the live when Uppity was doing the live because they said it was a long live, something like a marathon or something. Which, sometimes the people do that in these sectors. Well, instead of Ness using all that bad language and dragging people really bad, on her channel, she did it over there on Shaquem channel. I mean, on your Uppity channel. And Uppity smelled a rat honey, and she got rid of that damn lie. But they say that Ness was talking about everybody. And she do that, she'll act out on Lemon channel, she'll act out on Shaquem channel, she'll act out on Uppity channel. As long as they let her do it, she gonna do it. Dory channel, Brooke channel, all of that. Now, Brooke, I'll tell you one thing I've noticed about her. She's been bagging back on a lot of this bullshit that go on out here. Brooke doing the best thing. I would just stay clear of the shit. I wouldn't jump in this, but if Ness her dog and she want to do it, that's her. That's her. And the same thing with Dory. If she want to do it, that's her. But like as far as like a whole lot of people getting in this situation with Ness 88, J Don. A lot of people ain't getting in there because there's no reason to. Let her fight. You know, she got to fight for her stuff, and nobody else can do it. You know, but I don't know when this is gonna go back live because she's been, and I think that she's doing like Lemon when he got struck with those false flags. They kind of shook Lemon too. And it would happen to her. She thought it was because they don't slapped her in her face and letting her know that she's just as vulnerable as any other content creator. Here to my face, hey, Daquan. Ooh, child, Daquan. Hey, Octavius. Hey, Hypnotic Touch. Hey, Real Mama Fifi. Hey, Jug, FL Promoter. Is that Florida Promoter? I don't know. I'm going to speak again, Rob S. and Vibrant. Hey, Jazzy. I think that's everybody. Let me get my notes checked. Hold up. And you know, I almost didn't go live because I started watching that Birth of a Nation again. And I got so into it. So, like, when I go off of here tonight, I think I'm just going to not do YouTube tonight. I think I'm just going to watch TV. Plus, I got some stuff I got to do tomorrow, and I got to kind of go to bed kind of early. And the only way I'll wind down is completely log off. Don't peep at nothing, because if I don't, I'll be up all night. Okay. Let me go down. But yeah, honey, Jadon, honey, she in a feeding frenzy right now. Jadon is having the time of her life. You know, she's having a ball. She playing, honey. She's having a ball messing with this. Ball messing with Lemon. But you know, one thing I've heard that Lemon and her is kind of standing down off each other. But I don't know how long that's gonna last, okay? Okay, and I went by Captain's. Now I'm going back in time. This was a couple of days ago. This day his little girl had got released from the hospital, and he was really excited about that. And he was showing Wu fight. And as far as I know, his lab is still up for the people that didn't see it. You know, go a couple of days back. And he was showing her fight over and over, and he was stopping it, laughing, starting it back up, rewinding it. He was doing all that. He was doing like Donna Goins was doing when he was showing the fight. And the people that got bought down on that live was Jackie, Gina, and David. I don't know why they bought David down, but they bought David down. David is a white guy. I think he's from Ireland or somewhere like that. He's a guy that just like to sit up on the panel. And he be in his own world. You know, he be talking about stuff that ain't nobody talking about but him. But he really don't disrupt the panels too much. David, he had found a place that he was very comfortable. That was at Mysterious. But see, Mysterious don't go live very often. You know, she doing her thing in the world. And David used to get to sit up there with her a lot. He used to be at my house, but he kind of just started just like flooding around in different chats since Mysterious has been gone. Um, Jackie, Sweet Pea, Big Trap, Gina, what, and a guy named Wavy, David. Those are the people that was on that live that hit the panel. Sweet Pea is Jackie's sister. And not on my watch. She wound up getting up there, and her and Gina was into it bad. Uh, Jackie and Duck, they came on the live too. They was out like moving around. They went bowling, out to eat. They was just having fun, enjoying each other. And I enjoyed watching them. Well, it was some people in that chat. They didn't appreciate that shit at all about Jackie and Duck being together. And you talking about talking that shit. Captain let some of them start, but a lot of them he didn't. He was throwing them out the chat. Because he crazy about Jackie and Big Baby. Um, and they said that they had reservations to go out to eat. They was just briefly giving us things that they were going to be doing over the weekend that they spent together. And they were showing places they were at, like when they were bowling and all that kind of stuff. Because OG Bobby Johnson got up on the panel, I think it was yesterday, and was telling Duck he wanted to meet him so he could kick his wood and all that kind of stuff. And Duck said, "Hey, I'm not going to come looking for you. Now, I've been showing the different places that we've been at. It ain't my fault that you ain't been on YouTube and seen her." Duck said he wasn't ducking and dodging nobody. I said, "Get on, Duck. That's my boo." Okay. And this guy named Wavy, I see him sometime, but I don't know very much about him. But the places I be going, and when he hit the panel, he's not very liked. I don't know much about him. He was like dragging Jackie because he said that him and Jackie should be together. Duck, she didn't need him and all that. And I was saying, how the hell you gonna call yourself sweet on somebody, but if you see him with somebody else, you get mad and start talking shit. You ain't gonna never get the woman. And it's no guarantee ducking her. But they both seem they seem to be happy. Okay. Okay, and then I told you guys that I watched T.S. Madison. Now I'm leaving the captain now. I see the brief notes that I made on that. And T.S. honey, she drug the hell out of her. She drug Kaya the hell and back. Okay. And she said that T.S. said that Kaya came to her $2.5 million house and was, and she said that when she left, she went back to her slave shack. She said that Kaya, like at this big pride thing that they were supposed to do last weekend, she said that Kaya got $2,000. No, $2,500 and some lemon pepper wings. And she said how much she made for that weekend, but I can't remember how much it was. But she also got the mayor gave her the key to the city and all that kind of bullshit. And Maddie was TS was saying that her ticket to get from her home to the Pride, where they were having the Pride, she said her plane ticket cost that $2,500. And she was talking about the jet she was on and all that. And she said that Kaya just made dumb decisions, like business wise. But she said that she didn't even own the rights to My Neck and My Back. You know that song? She said that the man that she was laying up in the bed with had used Kaya money to invest in Kevin Gates mineral water. And I guess that fizzled out. And she also said that Kaya man had Kevin Gates picture tattooed on his neck. So when she went to sleep at night, when Kaya went to sleep at night, she would sleep with that man plus the nigga that was on his neck. I was hollering. Okay. She said that Kaya, when she went up on stage to do her performance at the gay pride thing, she said that her clothes was 2 sizes too little and they looked like they came from Temu. She said just cause you buy cheap shit, it ain't got to look cheap. And she said that Kaya, when she got a hold to a little change, she went and got her butt done. She said she should have got her teeth done. She said that she also should have used that money that she used to get her butt done, that she should have got her grandchild's eyes fixed. Because I guess the little girl got cross eyes on the little boy. And she said that she was gonna stay on that Kaya was a bomb and that she was gonna stay on her neck, period. And if you guys want to see that, you can go to TS Madison channel and you can see her drag. She was even dragging the Kaya today. She did a short live, about an 8-minute live. She drug the shit out of her today. I thought she was going to apologize because she said the title was apology or something like that. She was apologizing because Kaya ain't got no money. She was apologizing because Kaya, drive a Kia car. She was apologizing for a lot of shit. She was apologizing for her life being in the shambles. Sure. And like I said, on these true beefs, they might end and they might not end. It might be like the Hatfields and McCoys. Just go on and on and on. And that's how these two ladies are. I don't think it's going to ever end. Because one of them going to always say something about the other. And like when Kaya years ago, when she started talking about TS's mom, that was it. I knew this wasn't going to never end. Because TS didn't think that Kaya would go to that level of talking about her mom. And when she did that, we all knew that their relationship was never going to be mended. Even if they say, I'm sorry, but I accept your apology, they're gonna still bicker. It is what it is. Okay, now I'm leaving there. I went by 357. And on there, Jackie, Duck, Free T. This the one that she threw that wig up in the head in the air. SD, Rune Shaker, the Captain, Cupcake, Gina, Jade, Red Bear, Woo, Rainwater, Big Lack, Freaky and 88. No, Big Baby. And when the live started out, Jackie was up there in SD, and they was just going back and forth, like joking back and forth. Well, honey, that shit turned serious, and they was dragging the hell out of each other. You hear me? Jack was talking about how he pee in the bed, and they were talking about each other bad. And Jackie said that when SD stayed a couple nights at her house, and one night she let him sleep in the bed with her, but it wasn't no hanky panky. And the next time he came over there, she made him sleep on the couch. But child, she said he pissed on her couch. He couldn't sit on my phone. He couldn't nothing in my house. He'd have to have a plastic chair. I'd have to go get him a bucket or something to sit on. But he couldn't sleep at my house because he pisses on himself. And why would a woman want a pissy man? That's why I can't understand that. I don't understand how Jay kept him all them years after he peed in her bed. She showed it, honey. He was still peeing in his sleep. You hear me? And I mean, when you talk about empty your bladder, he emptied his bladder. It's on video over there in the Mo 3 beef section. I mean, peed all in just piss. And she showed it. Okay. And Jackie said that he when he like got in the bed with her, she said he called himself wrapping his skinny legs around her, and she told him, "You need to get away from me," you know. And she said he did not try to take it. Uh, and he peed on her couch, and then he talked about her couch. Nigga, how you gonna talk about my couch? You done pissed my couch out. Then you gonna talk about it. Now that's crazy. Okay. And she said that he had old clothes on and old shoes, you know, that he be talking that shit, but he ain't walking that shit, you know. And she said she treated him like a bitch. And she said that he was telling her bragging like about what he gonna get when his mom and daddy die. I hate to hear people say shit like that. You might die before your parents. You can't spend their money. You know, you can't. I see what it is. Wait a minute. And like after SD left, uh 357 say, I told you I done heard he done said that he had F you before. You wouldn't believe it. But SD have said that before that he had F Jackie. But you know, I guess Jackie just didn't hear it for her own self. But it finally hit her that night when him and her got into it over there at 357. It finally hit her that he had been saying that. But shit, it is what it is. Because he was trying to go with her. And she said that he drive a Prism. I guess that's his parents' car. And then she said he ain't never been shot because he always talking about he done been shot and stuff. Honey, he played like he got shot last year. That nigga didn't get shot. He died like he got shot at work. And that kind of shit makes the news, okay? And some of the people actually believed him. Like K Kira and Big Brenda, they was babying him and he was, oh, it hurt when I move like that. And I was just looking at them. And when it all was over with, when everybody found out he was telling a damn lie, which I knew from the beginning, because I do watch the news. Now something did happen the day that he said he got shot on the bus. One of the a bus driver like had a medical problem and they died. But that wasn't SD. He was talking about back then. He was talking about the dark buses. It's like the mafia. He was just talking cuckoo talk, and he's still talking about want men to suck his thing and you want me to get you in the booty. He's still talking that kind of shit. If I ain't nowhere in the world I can have no man to be saying stuff like that about violating another man. You couldn't be mine. Period. Okay. Gina and Cupcake got into it. They was into it bad. And Jackie was saying that how SD shakes his ass and pats his ass. She said that's why he like going to jail. So he could do it. And Jade came on there and she was saying how much fun she was having with her new man. And Jade and Cupcake got into it. And when Jade was on there, she was talking about her man because you could hear him in the background. her new man. And 357 them, the guys over there in the Mo 3 sector, like when a woman come up with a man, they'll drag the man. And if the man can handle it, then they could be like, be sitting on the chat, on the panel with them, and they won't talk about it and stuff. But if they can't, when they be dragging and messing with the guy, if they get mad, they like that. And see that Jay boo, he got mad. So he gonna be a sitting duck every time Jay come on there with him. They're gonna drag him. And 357 will tell him to get the F out, and she don't want you when you are weak. You weak as F, and you a bitch. He was talking like that. Jade also said that her and Texas 713 got the thing going, and that he cashes her out. She said if she just look at something, he'll pay for it, like when they hook up. So I guess it is the truth. They did have something going on. Okay. And then Jay started dragging the shipmates. Now you know that the captain kicked all the shipmates out. But I think they're gonna get to go back. But she was saying they was all broke, didn't have no cars, didn't have no job. Y'all ain't got y'all kids. She was just dragging him. And the ones that was in the chat, none of them hit the link. Well, Room Shaker got tired of hearing that shit, and she got up there and she drove the hell out of Jade. Jade was trying to fight back, and Jade was saying, I don't want to do this no more. Room Shaker kept right on dragging, girl. And she was telling Room Shaker she knows she didn't have no kids. And Callie, one thing about it, Callie has, the time that I've been on, noticed her in the beef sector, the Mobile 3 beef sector. Callie have gotten her kids back. Callie she's going to, she bought her a car. Now she's in school. And I'm glad to see, every so many months she's stepping up doing something else, and she might have just had a rough patch. But see, she pulling herself up out that ditch. Like I said, when she do her life, she be traveling her car and stuff, have her hair all up. And now we'll be able to see her going to school. We'll be able to hear her talking about, if it's an online school, so what? At least you trying, Callie. Keep up the good work. You can't never learn too much. The world is yours. You still a young lady. I don't know what your trade, what you're trying to go to school for, but good luck with whatever it is, and keep on doing you, because this last year you have improved. You have improved. You feed your kids. Y'all, she put so much food on her kids' plate that they can't do nothing but go to bed after they eat. The bath time, she do her bath time with them, read to them, take them places. And like I said, she makes sure they bathed at night. She makes sure they fed. She cooks enough for an army, honey. So, I ain't got no problem with Callie. Okay. And then Room Shaker was telling Jade that she can't say nothing about them ladies on the ship. She said Jade ain't doing no better than they doing. She said they ain't riding around letting no man play in their ussy on live. They Jade, Callie, them ain't riding around with their panties on their head. And they ain't been talking about Jade, so why Jade talking about them? You can't, if you're not doing a 100, you can't talk about the person that's doing 20. 20 might be all they can do. But you might be at 99, but bitch, you ain't perfect. And they go for any of us. Okay? And like I said, Callie she's doing her. I'm just glad to see the girl in school. I'm glad to see she got a kid. I'm glad to see she do live showing she cooking. I'm glad you see her feeding her children. I'm glad of all of that for Callie. Okay? Um, let me see. Rainwater, he came in and he was telling Jay, you too pretty to be arguing like this. Stop. He was shaking, room shaker. You too smart. You don't need to be arguing like this. Do you think some women listen to him? Hell no. They kept right on arguing. And I said, get down, sisters. You ain't got to do what no man tell you to do. And then Broadway, he started talking about how Wu got demolished. Like when she got her ass whooped, he said she got demolished, y'all. I was hollering. And then he was asking people, because he hadn't seen the fight. And people was sending him the link and stuff, but he didn't want to watch it. He wanted to entertain. And then I think he let Room Shaker like play the audio. And then he said, nah, I don't want to hear that no more. And stuff. Cause see, he like Wu. So he didn't want to hear that. And then Wu had jumped up on the panel when Room Shaker and Jay was arguing, and they argued an hour, a good hour. But Wu couldn't get in to talk about the fight, so she left. And later on, Broadway tried to call her back up there. She came up there for a little while. But honey, she didn't have a good night. Okay, let me see. And then when different people saying stuff about the fight, somebody said that she had got stripped down to her thong, and he was like, stripped down to her thong. I'm saying, damn. And another thing I just want to say, everybody was talking about how Wu had got a mud hole stuffed in her. And she just got beat up. That's all I can say. And now everybody over in the Mo3B sector, all them got to, they all recorded it. So every time one of them getting mad, honey, Wu, they gonna put your ass right back up on that screen, honey. Maybe you'll leave people alone. But see, she acts crazy on all of these websites. She acts a fool. Like when she get run out over here in the B section, she'll go to Facebook. Get run off the Facebook, she'll go to Instagram. She on all of them. And she raised hell everywhere she go. So that's why she wrote her ass. She wrote a check that her ass couldn't cash over there on fooling with them women over there on Facebook. And he said she had a big ussy. And he said about Wu, and he was telling her she got the F beat out of her. And that's when Jackie and Duck came on the screen together. And 357 said, like, when he started his live, him and Duck, Duck was at his house. But while that live was going on, Duck I guess he had jumped in his car and headed out to Texas, child. And him and Jackie and Duck were popping up on the screen together. And they was having a good time. And he said her butt ain't big like it looked on the video. But Jackie said he couldn't keep his hands off of her. And they was booed up. And I thought that was cute. Okay, now I'm going backwards like the day before. This is when 357 was talking about, he said, hey, they took the Hall opinion, it's no more. They took that channel. He was talking about that. Because you remember, over a week ago, I was saying that I was putting the Hall opinion in, and I wasn't nothing coming up. It was all kind of Hall opinions, but it wasn't 357's Hall opinion. And then I forgot because throughout, like when they be taking his channels, he be making other channels, but he just don't go back to them for a while. But see, that's how he did that Raw Dog channel. I wasn't getting my notifications from it, so I unsubscribed and subscribed back. And now I'm getting my notifications from that channel. So ain't no telling what else I'm subscribed to that. Channels that he dropped the link and say, y'all need to subscribe this. This is gonna be another one of my bag ups. Well, that's how that Raw Dog channel was. And he Captain do the same thing, you know, make up channels throughout you know, they might decide today, I want to make another channel. And then they'll throw their support over there. They'll say, y'all go over there and subscribe. Or either they'll roll the crowd, we'll just say on this channel, they'll roll the crowd to the other channel. So, you know, that's just the way they do their journey on YouTube. And a lot of content creators, they do their journey like that. Like Tracy. Tracy got 50 channels. And if she lose this, she just go over here. And it is what it is. Some people, that's the way they maneuver YouTube. All these content creators are different. Like Rule Shaker, like when she gets strikes on her main channel, she won't go on there for 90 days. She'll make sure all the strikes roll off. Because she always say if she ever lose her main page, she wasn't going to do YouTube anymore. But I be telling her, hell, channels come and go, But everybody different. Some people decide if they get their channel took, they're not going to come back on YouTube. And that's what Moonshake always say. Even though she do have a bag up. Let's see. And when Broadway went live, of course, Gina was one of the first ones up there. She went up there, with all that loud talking and on this live, Gina, Texas 713, Doug, Coolin, Wop, Skoka, Shano, Ghetto, Mike Martin, Royalty, Jackie. That was the people that came up on the screen. They was talking about SD asking the CEO on a live, did the CEO, he asked the CEO, did he want to F him? And they say CEO just didn't even answer him back. And Broadway, he was kind of in a bad mood, especially when Gina hit the link at the beginning of the live. And what he was like upset with Gina for is because Polar and several other content creators have been saying that Gina are still over there at Broadway, getting money and blase this and blase that. He get to call her a bag of bitches. And she was going along agreeing with them. And that made, Broadway got in his feelings because he said he don't even call her bitches and hoes. He said, I just kick you out. He said, now, them the ones that be calling you out at your name. He said, now, Duck have cussed you out and called you all out kind of bitches and hoes. He said, but not me. And he said, really, he didn't appreciate it. He said, I'm one of the people that treat you like a human. And you gonna agree with that I be calling you all at your name, and I don't go along with a lie. And that's what he didn't like. And he was kicking her out the panel. He wasn't going for that. Her lying to him like it wasn't like it when he said he was in a lie and he seen her agreeing with him. And he didn't appreciate that at all. Okay. And Coolin was up there and she was dragging Ashley. And she was saying that Ashley was built like a Cheerio. Let me see what else. And then Coolin, she do her little gossiping, and her and Broadway was having a gossiping session, and they talked about the mayor. I told you guys about MHB and mayor wife, and about the VA and all of that. They was discussing that. And Gina jumped up there again, and she was telling Coolin that she know she got court on June the 13th at 2:00. And what she's going to court for is with Mink, and they going for Mink getting her for harassment and stalking. So we'll just keep up with that. And Coolin was telling Gina she to mind her own goddamn business. Okay. And Coolin and 357, they were dragging different people. And one of the people they drug was DJ. And I like DJ, but everybody don't like him. But DJ ain't never did nothing to me. MHB, he hit the link and he told Broadway, hey, I ain't gonna drag you no more. I ain't, in so many words, he was saying he wasn't gonna, drag him anymore. That his main targets was his main target, like, is Polar and the mayor. He was saying he got his hand full. I was on somebody live and they were saying something to Duck about it. And Duck was saying that's the biggest lie he ever told. He said, hell, he just drug us today. Ooh, child. 357. I mean, it makes me, I don't know why you got up there. You're gonna drag 357 and Duck. Okay. And 357 drug Book. And he said that in the past that Book was sending him information on different content creators like Brandon, different ones, but he said he didn't use none of that shit. He said he didn't need Book help for nothing, And so he was dragging Book. Let's see. And he was calling Book a foot soldier for different content creators. And he was saying that he doing all the work, but other men, other niggas is getting the ussy. Like for the women that he jumped in front of and doxing people and all that, he not getting no benefits out of it. Other niggas getting it. So he was calling him a foot soldier for different content creators. And he got tired of Book being in his chat, and he timed him out for 24 hours. He told him out the chat. Okay. And Shano and Duck got into it. Shano had hit the link and he said that he had been in the hospital. And I think it was due to a toothache, but it led up to him bleeding, like out of throwing up blood and boo-booing out blood. So they kept him in the hospital and I think he lost so many pints of blood and they had to build his, blood back up before they let him out. They had to give him some blood. And I didn't get the whole gist of that. Royalty and Gina got into it. And Royalty and the captain got into it. And she was saying that she wanted to put her hands on the captain. She wanted to choke him out, child. And the captain said, oh, now you want to kill me? Well, the Royalty got into it with Jackie also. And before that, there was another time. This is when I went over to Sin Cities because I had been at Lemons and Mr. West had got up there and he had said something and it has to do with Woo and a fight. That's all the part I got of it. Well, Lemon wasn't in the mood for Mr. West. He threw him out the stage. Well, Mr. West stayed out the stage for hours, but then he finally got to come back up there. That was when Ness lost her channel and she was over there telling Lemon about losing her channel. And that's when Ness started cussing out Mr. West and saying, bitch, you the one came over here and told Lemon that my page got took. And, all of that. And it went from there, child. And then Lemon stopped the live and supposed to start a new live and Ness didn't show up. Okay, and over there at Sin City, she was talking about how Woo had got beat up, and she was talking about that she had got stripped. See, I thought she got stripped naked about it. What Sin City was saying, I came and went live and let my little crowd know, hey, Woo got our ass whooped. And I thought it was recent. But after being on YouTube for the days afterwards, I found out that fight was old. that had just got released over here. See, I didn't know nothing about that, and a lot of people in the Mo 3 beef sector didn't know nothing about Wu getting beat up like she got beat up. Okay. And when I was live, that's when somebody came here and told me that it was on Donna Goin channel. And so after I got off the live, they do a short live I did to let you guys know, hey, Wu done got her ass whooped. That's when I found, knew to go to Donna Goins. And that's how that's when I seen it. Um, and I went by Lemons, and on this night, Beans and Cornbread was into it with that Shakira Chicago. I don't know what those ladies have against each other. I don't know if it got something to do with Discord, because Discord been coming up. All that kind of I ain't into that. And like the stuff I see when I be in Discord, whatever going in there, when I'm in there, I ain't gonna discuss none of that shit. Unless I'm on a panel and Lemon say something, but I don't bring that shit out of here. That on here, But some people have been. Some of the people that's in Discord, they don't like each other at all. And they get into it out here on the streets. Okay? And on that live, audio was on it. On that live, I didn't make very many notes. And I went by YouTube cameras, and 88 and Ken was into it. They was discussing Lemon's talent show. And that was about all that went on that live. And I put on here SD got struck out. So that's something else that happened. So SD got struck out and the Hall Pin got struck out. Since I made a long live like this one. Okay, and they said, I also heard out in the streets that Rob Rack, I think when he took Janet to the airport or whatever, somebody's supposed to give him some head. Now, whether that happened or not, I don't know. They say Janet was very upset. Tracy and 88 had got into it. Now, this like about 5 days ago, something like that. And she was calling her a raggedy. She was calling Queen 88 Queen 88 a welfare queen. She was saying she was raggedy hoe. And then that's when I found out that YouTube cameras had to end another live because people got into it over there on her live and it got pretty bad. That's a live that I missed. But YouTube camera has been having to end some of her lives and take them down because they go so low on the dragon. And see, she don't want to get no strike, and I understand it for the harassment and bullying. But I would, if they start getting out of hand like that, I would drop them. And if that means drop everybody on the panel, I would drop them and I would let people come back. I would just pick and choose. But I wouldn't keep losing my lives because, people want to go to the gutter, even though we do be in the gutter a lot. Sometimes you can't, it's too far. And that's how people channels get taken. Okay? Judge Fifi and Octavius had been into it. Now on them, they've been into it. This ain't nothing new. They get into it every once in a while. I don't know what be kicking them, what kicks them off. But I heard that Octavius had drug 88. That's how a lot of stuff had got going too on here, other like fractions of it. Because on different panels, people get into it, and then they have issues that's old, and it just comes out over here on the beef sector. The beef sector don't know nothing about it. The beef sector be thinking they just not getting into it, when in actuality, they've been into it. They'll fight, then bag out, fight, bag out. Now, Judge Fifi said the reason she was going out after Octavia is because he called CPS on her. And then other people start saying Kiki had did it. And Octavius was saying, nah, you know, because I be liking to hear both sides. And I do go to Octavius' page. And I do listen to when he get on the panel, what he's saying. You know, I can only go by what he's saying. I can only go by what she's saying. Okay. And on one live, Fifi, she called like the police on Octavius for them to do a wellness check on his mom. She was saying that he was had like that PTSD or something like that, and that he was mental. He hadn't been taking his medication. She hadn't heard from her mom. She had been knocking on the door and all that. She was playing like she was Octavius' sister. And then she was saying Octavius was armed. She was saying all kind of stuff. See, that's how folks get, taken from the earth. Because you might have a trigger happy police. There's some of them out there that's like that. This trigger happy. And I don't like to see that. Don't call and say somebody got weapons and all. Don't do that. Because you can get somebody hurt. Or Octavius could have hurt somebody. He could have hurt the police. If they start roughing them up, you don't know how this shit gonna end. Okay? And she said it's because he called CPS on him, and she was saying an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Okay, wait a minute. Okay. Trying to think of where this was at. I can't think of where this was at. Because they had played 357. Where was I at? Because that was a live I missed that the captain and Isha was into it, and H-Town. And the cap, it had to be. Okay, it was they was replaying 357 live when the captain, H-Town, and Isha was into it. And it was OYB or some kind of channel. I can't think of who channel it was. But on this one channel, the captain and H-Town was into it, and he was telling H-Town how he had, when he was effing her, like from behind, her belly was going from side to side, going from left to right. He was saying what he was doing to her mouth. He said they were doing the 69 position. He was saying that he had stayed over there in the H-Town house and had slept, had effed Isha all over the house. He said he would just be sitting up there relaxing with his feet up on the table while she be cooking. He said that she don't know how to cook green beans, and her green beans is dry. He was saying that he slung DICK all over H-Town house. He was telling H-Town that. And he said they was real freaky. And he said that he had sex with her at his grandmother's house. And he said that he effed her for 2 months and that she was using her food stamps on him. And then he also said that she had a pregnancy scare when they was together. Let me see. Oh, he said he pee-peed on her butt. I don't know what is it is with all this pee-pee grown men doing. Peeing on your butt, peeing in the bed, peeing on the couch, peeing in the shower, peeing on you in the shower. I don't get it. But some of these guys are really up into the golden shower shit. Okay. But some people are into golden shower. It wouldn't be a name for it if people didn't do it. Oh Lord. And he was telling H-Town to shut the F up. And he was calling Isha baby. You know, just picking. And that's it. I think that's it. That was the hour and 45 minutes. Okay. Yeah. Trying to see if I make sure I got everything. Now I don't know if Duke's still having his meet and greet on the 20th, on the 2nd. I don't know if they're gonna do that. And I also heard, now I don't know how true this is. I heard it through the grapevine that Trish, that they're not gonna have the YouTube awards in Belize, that is back in New York. It's gonna be another failure. But now Lemon say he gonna go to New York to be in it, and this she also want to be there. And I don't know who else gonna go to New York. Okay, so I don't know what happened with the Belize. I think the crew kind of been mixed up because I seen on Trish thumbnail earlier, which I didn't watch, but she was saying they were gonna be an all-female cast. I guess on the reality show thing she's gonna do over in Belize, she was saying it's gonna be all women, and then this wanna go. Child, Trish been doing this shit for years, wasting a bunch of people time, wasting a bunch of people just listening to the shit. I don't even stay when she be on these panels with that shit. I exit stage left. You know, I exit stage left every time so I don't get it mixed up and forget how to get the hell out this, out of this live. Child, it don't make no sense. Now, if y'all haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button for me. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I'm getting ready to get back out here in the YouTube streets. Well, now I'm going to shut this off because I got to be up early in the morning. So I don't care what go on tonight on YouTube. I'm not going to see it. Okay. I got to unwind my mind, so I won't be up all night. But, ooh, child, I got a busy day scheduled for tomorrow. Well, at least I didn't do it for the day for Monday. Ooh, child. I hope I don't be out all day tomorrow. I hope everything go really smooth and I get to come back home. Ooh, child. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.